Moving to Germany, if you read the headlines there today, you might think that you're in the wrong century. The tabloids are saying that the emperor is dead and farmers are angry and have taken to the streets. Upon closer inspection, you'll realize you haven't really gone back in time. The fallen emperor is a football legend, Franz Beckenbauer. He passed away on Sunday at the age of 78. And the farmers are protesting for very modern reasons. They're fighting to protect their access to government subsidies, diesel subsidies. They've taken to the streets in their tractors and they're blocking roads in Berlin and other major cities in Germany. Our Indian audience will be familiar with some of these scenes. Here's our report.
Long rows of tractors are lining up in major German cities. They're in the heart of the capital, Berlin, near the iconic Brandenburg Gate. They have surrounded other major cities as well. Munich, Bonn, Cologne. The tractors are everywhere. It's not just tractors, there are trucks and other farm vehicles as well. And inside them all are German farmers, honking their horns and fighting for their rights. They are protesting. And they will continue to do so all week, with the grand finale taking place next Monday. The German farmers are braving sub-zero temperatures. They are blockading major roads leading into cities. There's almost sort of a festive atmosphere. All this will seem familiar to people in India, including their banners. India had seen its own massive farmers' movement a few years ago. The German farmers are angry over subsidy cuts.
We as farmers had to endure a lot of cuts of all kinds in recent years. We were handed orders and regulations, and the announced cut for the agricultural diesel was the tipping point. The overall resentment finally broke into the open and ended up with this demonstration here.
Germany has subsidized diesel for agricultural use. Farmers effectively pay half the normal rate. Last month, the government decided to scrap that subsidy. It wasn't a voluntary move, it was made under duress. Berlin had been planning to fund the subsidies with money set aside for the COVID pandemic. But a German constitutional court said that would not be allowed. And so the government was left scrambling to cut spending. Germany has racked up an $18 billion budget deficit because of the court ruling. And it needs to plug in that gap. So farmers were among the groups targeted. The entire diesel subsidy was to be scrapped in one go. And tax breaks on agricultural vehicles were to end as well. But this plan was met with outrage. The German farmers weren't having it, and so the government was forced to back down. It decided to leave the vehicle tax breaks alone. And the diesel subsidy will now be removed gradually, completely ending in 2026. German Chancellor Olaf Scholz says that this is the best deal on the table.
And that's why, in view of the fact that the government has made concessions to farmers, I think it's also important to keep things in proportion and to strike the right balance.
But the farmers don't want to compromise. It's no longer just about taxes, but about the viability of farming as a whole.
The occasion was, of course, the debate on diesel and vehicle taxes. But that was just the icing on the cake, on top of all the constraints that we have increasingly faced. That's why we are here today. We absolutely need an agricultural policy that is committed to fair conditions for family farms in Germany.
Will the German government listen? Will it give in to the pressure? Or will it opt for a headlong confrontation with the farmers? We'll find out in the weeks to come.